What's going on, everybody? It's Jeff here. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about AMC. I'm going to be going over the same website that I had looked at on my last video that forecast what the stock could be looking like in the future. It's a crazy algorithm. I did a little bit more research on it. I still am taking it with a grain of salt, but it's pretty cool, so stick around. You're not going to want to miss this, guys. First off, let's take a look at the market is finally starting to recover. We had a rocky couple days, especially yesterday, especially for anyone that was in on CCIV. All right, if you are not part of our private community, it's the first link in the comments, guys. Please consider checking it out. I talked to them on Saturday and told them exactly what my investing plan was going to be with CCIV. I always like to manage my risk and retain as much capital as I can and securely lock in profits. I might miss out on the extra 10%. However, you're not going to go broke when you lock in profits. So consider checking it out. We would love to have you over there. But the market is starting to recover, which is awesome. We saw a little bit of a sell-off. If we go over here and we look at it over a 1 year period, excluding right when coronavirus hit, and you look at it, guys, I always follow the NASDAQ. There's some natural pullbacks. It's normal. It comes back up. This is a great healthy chart, and I see this being nothing as that in order to continue further, especially with news of stimulus. All right, the Federal Reserve had spoke and said, you know what, they're not too worried about inflation as of right now, and the easy money lending is going to be, interest rates are going to stay low. The easy money lending is going to continue. I'm very, very bullish on the market for the rest of 2021. Now, let's get into AMC. Couple things I want to mention, guys. If you look at right here, this updates very quickly. The call volume versus the put volume. The call volume has been much, much higher over the last 5 or 6 days. And why is this important? Because when the price was sitting at around $5.30 to $5.50 a share, and I'd mentioned many times in the videos that $5.50 was a very, very strong support. There was lots of call volume, $6 strike price, $6.50, $7 strike price, even $7.50 strike price. Well, now we're talking about a little bit different than area than what we mentioned, previously, whereas the shorts need to cover for them issuing puts, right? Put options. These are call options that are now in the money. So if they choose to exercise these options, I believe it's about 120,000 to 150,000 options, which we know is one contract is 100 shares. That is millions and millions of shares that needs to be purchased, and they do that because they make money. So this isn't this is a little bit different of what happened before, what we were going for before going against the shorts. So this is great news because the potential for them to be able to make money is there. Now, do I know that they have not exercised it by this Friday? We don't know that yet, okay, because I haven't seen a massive price spike. However, we have seen some spikes, but at least the call volume continues to go in. I'm going to also talk about another website. I've mentioned this on my channel before. It's Barchartcom. This right here shows the most active stock options to date. All right, and exactly what's happening today. If you look, AMC is number 2. Apple always remains very high up here. If you did miss this, if you are looking for great stocks to get into, Apple is insanely discounted at $125 a share right now. Okay, at times of a market pullback, looking at solid fundamental blue chip stocks that provide a good value or are on sale right now is definitely a good opportunity. I can see that going back up to the 145, 150 point as it should be at. Now, let's get back to AMC. 83% call volume, 16% put volume. That's awesome. That means they're very bullish on the stock. It hit a high today of about $8.49. The more that we can continue to keep this stock up, the more bulls that continue to get into it, as well as us retail investors that continue to invest in it, okay, are going to help push this price forward, as well as the opportunity for everybody who is in the money on their call options with the $6 to $7.50 strike price can exercise them, buy those shares, and make a lot of money on that. Now, I also want to mention, guys, let's take a look at this other website that I talked about. It's Pretimingcom. I talked about it in my last video. What this does is they use a crazy algorithm that's basically being able to use historical data to be able to predict what's going to happen in the future. Now, when I first talked about this, someone in my private Discord had mentioned it in the channel on Monday. I took a look at it. It was a little bit higher. It showed some candle wicks hitting about that $20 price range yesterday. In yesterday's video, it still showed the candle wicks a little bit higher than it does today. However, it looks like we are going in a positive place for one time, especially when a lot of our stocks have been in the red. So that is awesome news, guys. Check out this website. It's pretiming.com. This is the word right here, just timing.com. I did also look at a couple other analysts or other stocks just to kind of see where they would fall, to provide some validation and try to do a little bit of research on how their algorithm works. It shows Apple continuing to go down. We'll see what happens. It'll be nice to play out. The other day when I checked this, it was not near. I think it was staying around that 125 point that it is at now. But it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Guys, check it out. Do some research. Look at it for other stocks. It seems like it might be a great tool. I'm taking everything with a grain of salt. By no means in this video do I want anybody to invest more money into this stock or hang on. If you're at that $7.50, $8 entry point and you want to get rid of it to minimize your risk and your loss, please don't look at this as something that is going to decide to shoot up from here. So I do also want to mention this is another $1 AI that expects it to go up. Like I said, guys, take everything with a grain of salt, but you can check this out. It's pretty cool. So let's take a look at the charts to see exactly what it's doing. It continues to follow the same pattern where it's spiking and beginning to sell off. It's spiking and selling off. There's a lot of day traders in on this, and with the increase of volume, which has finally happened, which is awesome. As you can see, look at these green and red. Let me move my screen. If you look at these green and red volume, it's much higher than it was going back the previous days where it was sitting just around that 550 support, which is good. The day traders are also jumping in on this, getting their gains and coming back. So it's maintaining a healthy pattern. It hit about that 840. Yeah, 840 of a high. I think it might have touched, a candle wick might have touched 850, began to pull back, and we'll see where it continues to go for the rest of the day. I'm excited to see how Friday is exactly going to play out. If these issuers of the call options are already in the money, they might have already exercised some of it. This is why you've seen some of these spikes rather than just natural buying power. However, on Monday, if they're also, it might be beneficial for them to wait after the expiration date to be able to exercise those. So it'll be great to be able to see just a little bit of positive news, considering except for today, the market has been down and a lot of us have taken some beating at some stocks. I also know many individuals got into CCIV who were also in AMC a little on the late side. So having a little bit of a rebound, it's already rebounded 50 to 60% off the low, which is an awesome good sign. So guys, that's it for this video. If you are interested in joining the private group, I transferred it from a private website over to a Patreon. It's just a little bit ease of use, and we would love to have you over there, and it helps support the channel. I really appreciate it. So that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you in the next one.